How's it going today, YouTube, and welcome back to Shaner's Mechanic Life. So I picked up this 15-piece Milwaukee Max Bite wrench set the other day. Part number 48229515. I thought I'd try them out and compare them up to the wrenches I've been using for years. The Snap-on Flank Drive Plus. Now they both have the serrated teeth in the open end part of the wrench to allow for more biting on, rusted, kind of stripped out fasteners, less chance of rounding off. If you're interested in more information or picking up a set of these Milwaukees, I'll leave a link to these in the description of the video for you. So I'm going to take the 17mm out of each set. I'm going to compare them with size, feel, and I've got two 10mm nuts and bolts. I'm going to put them in a vise, and I'm going to turn them until either it strips or it breaks, and I'm going to compare what kind of damage it'll do to the fastener due to these serrated teeth. Now, every wrench has its purpose. If you're using, chrome fasteners, painted fasteners, brass, you don't want to use anything with a serrated teeth like that. You want to use your standard combination wrench. That way you don't damage it. But if you got damaged fasteners, rusted fasteners, leaving a little bit of damage on the fastener isn't going to ruin your day. Well, let's get to the comparison. Here we go. Now, as you can probably see already, the Snap-on is a longer, slimmer wrench compared to the Milwaukee. The Snap-on is your conventional style wrench. The Milwaukee has gone with this I-beam design. It's got an indentation on both sides. It's supposed to be better feel in your hands. You have your thumb here. You get kind of a better grip on the wrench. But what I've noticed, I've been using this style wrench my whole career. This is, I could see it being a little difficult to get used to. Now, it feels good on the thumb, but on your fingers at the back, you've got these two high points, which could end up being a little bit uncomfortable and under high torque situations. Next, a little touch I like about the Milwaukee set is where it's got engraving for the size. They've actually gone and painted. So that way if, it's visibility is a little bit less, you can see what number wrench you're looking at. Whereas this one, might have to take a little bit longer to find it. Now let's compare the Flank Drive Plus to the Max Bite with the serrations in the open end part of the wrench. Here's the Flank Drive Plus. And if you compare it to the Milwaukee is by far more aggressive. And also, you look at the open end on the Snap-on wrench, it's a conventional design with the arc jaw here. Whereas the Milwaukee, it's got the notch there that in theory is supposed to grab the fastener more completely around the majority of the bolt head. Now what I noticed too is when you start putting torque, that tends to walk away. But in theory, it makes sense. You're covering more contact space, which gives you more torque. Now let's measure the tolerances in the open end. Got a digital caliper here that's zeroed. Like I said, these are 17mm wrenches. It's kind of hard to get a good measurement because of the serrations, but the Snap-on, 17.07. So the Snap-on was 17.07, and now the Milwaukee, 17.14. Little bit bigger in a combination end wrench, but very comparable. Now next, you look at the actual size of the head of the wrench. Again, we got it zeroed. We'll measure the Milwaukee and we'll just put it over top of the snap-on to see the difference here. So we got it right there. You put the head of the snap-on wrench in there. Quite a bit narrower, which for getting into tight spots might be a deal breaker. And next, the thickness of the wrench. On the combination end side, that's the Milwaukee. And just in comparison, go to the snap-on. Noticeable different, which again might be a deal breaker when you're going for tight spots. And the box end, they both have about the same offset, and again the Milwaukee is wider and thicker than the snap-on, which again, better access for tight spots. Now price point. You know that the snap-on wrench, that's going to be quite a bit more than a Milwaukee. But for your at-home guy, really, this will do you quite well. Now one thing I think is good about the Milwaukee, with it being thicker compared to the snap-on, is when you got it in your hand and you're really torquing on something, you don't have that thinner wrench digging into your hand. The wider wrench might actually feel more comfortable. As far as weight, you know, the Milwaukee feels a little bit heavier, but you know, until you get two identical sized wrenches, there's no real point in comparing weight, because it's just more material, less material, stuff like that. But enough of the measuring, the comparing. Let's get these two nuts and bolts over to the vise. We'll put them in, and we'll see what kind of damage they'll do to the nuts. Will they strip out? Will it break them? And then we'll compare the damage of the Flank Drive Plus compared to the Max Bite. See what it does to the fasteners. Here we go. And I'm going to clamp the nut in the vise. Cinch it down good, because it'll probably take a fair bit of torque to either strip it or break it. Okay, so I'll just run her down there. Okay, so it's just finger tight. So we'll start with a snap-on. Like I said, I'm going to tighten it until something gives. Well, something's got to happen soon here. Feels like it's starting to loosen up a bit. Okay. I don't know if it's stripping or starting to shear, but I think it's just stripped out. Okay, so that's the snap-on. Take it out of the vise, and we'll put it to the side. Now we'll do the same thing with the Milwaukee Max Bite. Tighten it in the vise, run it down. You got it run down. Now grab the 17mm Milwaukee Max Bite, and we'll start tightening her down just like we did with the other one. It's already loosened up here. I think the threads on the nut and bolt have stripped just like the nut and bolt we use with the snap-on one. Yeah, same thing. Okay, so we'll take that out of the vise. Put it off to this side with the Milwaukee. And we'll go back to the toolbox and compare them. Okay, first, our snap-on flank drive plus wrench. And that's the fastener. So we add, you can see the marks from the vise. And you can see the marks just before the corner on the bolt head. It looks like two distinct lines. Yeah, right there. Now, let's compare the Milwaukee one. The nut there, same vise marks. And you can see that as well. There is some slight damage just before the corner of the bolt head, but it looks like just one single line compared to the two of the snap-on. So end of the day, they both damage the fastener, but again, like I said earlier in the video, you got to use the right wrench for the right job. You know, if you're concerned about damaging your fasteners, you don't want to be using the Flank Drive Plus or the Milwaukee Max Bite. You want just a regular wrench without the serrated teeth. Now, if you got partially damaged, rusted fasteners, really you don't care if you mar them up a little bit, because chances are you're going to be replacing them anyway. The big goal is just to get it out without stripping it. Now at this point in time, I think the snap-on ones are going to remain my daily use wrenches. But for the next couple of weeks, I'm going to do nothing but run these Milwaukees and give you a little bit of a follow-up video once I get some more time on them. But so far, I am very happy with these. And you look at it, for the price point, you get a very good set of wrenches that will go toe-to-toe with the snap-ons. That costs substantially more. And the snap-on's got lifetime warranty. The Milwaukee's lifetime warranty. But if you do break a wrench, I think the snap-on ones will be easier to get. One phone call away, your snap-on guy will bring you one. Whereas these, I'll do some research and I'll let you know in the follow-up video what it takes to get a new wrench under warranty, should one break. Well, what's everybody think? Are you a snap-on guy? Or are you a Milwaukee guy? Let me know in the comment section. Well, if you like that video, give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button and notification bell in the bottom right hand corner. That way you get notified when you get new videos coming out. Well, that's it for tonight, everybody. Have a good night and keep wrenching.